my god. I can put this shit on my hand. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Damn, my diamonds cold. Damn, my golden clothes. Walking in this a show. Walking in this a show. Flashlight, ooh, flashlight, ooh, flashlight, ooh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. All right, so today is the day of the pop-up, and I am gonna vlog my very first pop-up. So I'm gonna show you guys what it's looking like right now, and then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when we get to the actual location. So please, mind you, do not mind my house. My house does look a little messy with everything on the floor, but just know it's all for the pop-up, okay? It's all for the pop-up. So let's see. This is what I have here. So I have a cash box and everything is all bagged up. My fryer, my propane tank, my actual deep fryers. I have coolers. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with them just yet. And I have my tent, my cooler, and then I have one table here and one table outside. So I don't wanna talk too much. So I'm gonna stop recording here. And then I'm gonna start recording when we're at the actual venue setting up. So I'll see y'all later. Oh my god, I can put this shit on my hand. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Next morning.
Okay, y'all, this is like my third time trying to record this video because, yeah. What's good, everybody? So it is the next day from my pop-up, and before I even get into details with this video, let me just say everybody there was honestly the sweetest people I think I've ever met. Like, everybody was just so encouraging. Everybody was just so awesome and helpful that I actually made some of the best connections that I have made since being in my business, since going to that pop-up. Like, it was amazing. And a shout out to all the people that came out to support me, and even through all the technical difficulties that I went through, which I will get into detail about. Everybody that came through, shout out to you guys for sticking it out with me and still showing support and giving me the most positive messages and everything while I was there, because your girl needed it, okay? So let's get into details of what actually happened at my very first pop-up after I stopped recording, okay? So first things first, we get there early. We're probably like the third or fourth people that get there out of like 12 or 13 people. So we get there, we find our spot, we set up the tent, make up the decorations, we put the deep fryer, take everything out the car, which probably took longer than it should, I think. I don't know, that was just a whole thing. But we get there, we set up, which I'll show, or I should have showed in the previous clip, and you see how it looks, right? It looks nice, it looks so bomb. But tell me why we set up and my freaking deep fryer doesn't work. Bruh. Like, it's not working for the life of it. Like, if we were to die tomorrow, that deep fryer would have been dead. Oh my gosh, like, it was such a pain in my behind that I wanted to cry. Like, I was so ready to like close up and go home because I was so frustrated. We were trying to get the deep fryer to work, and I'll insert like a little clip of us trying to light it. Every time we lit the deep fryer, the wind would blow it and it would go out, and I was getting so frustrated because I'm looking at other people's deep fryers and theirs was working, but for some reason mine wasn't. So my dad ended up showing up. He tried to get it working, but it didn't work. Like, it would stay on for a little bit, and then for whatever reason, like, the wind would blow it out. And it was just honestly just a hot mess. Like, the deep fryer alone made me like so frustrated. I even got so many like cuts on my hands just from trying to transport the deep fryer that it was just so annoying. So that was like the biggest thing that happened to me at my very first pop-up. But everybody that had came to support or wanted to buy something from me, I actually bought it frozen. So I was like, oh my god, like, as soon as people were saying like they wanted to buy it frozen, I was like, oh my god, yeah. Like, I ended up just starting to buy them, like sell them frozen. And of course I sold it at like a lower price from what I usually would, but you know, from the inconvenience of it, of course I had to, you know. So it was even some people that kept coming like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, is your deep fryer working? And I'm like, no, like, but you know, of course I tried to sell them to them frozen. If it was one thing that I should have done better, and my boyfriend actually brought it to my attention, was I could have given them my business cards. But my mind was just so on like, oh my god, like this is so embarrassing. My stuff's not working. But a lot of people like did actually buy something. So whether it was a drink with my logo on it or buying the actual food frozen, they actually did buy something. So all in all, I did make my money back. For the spot, it was $100, and honestly, that wasn't bad because I made my money back plus a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So it was great. And after it started to die down a little bit, I actually went around to other people's tents and other small businesses to try their food and show support and actually make connections. And that was the best thing that I could have done because I've got so much great feedback and advice coming in that that made it worth it, if that makes sense. Like, even though my stuff wasn't working, like, literally everybody that I had talked to, from the person who set up the pop-up, from like probably 4 other business owners, that it was so great. Like, I'm actually gonna go to another pop-up today that one of the other small businesses recommended me to go to. So I'm gonna go to another one today to kind of check it out and see how it is. I got invited to go to another pop-up in about 2 to 3 weeks, but I haven't agreed or declined to it because we gotta figure this deep fryer out. If I can't figure this deep fryer out, to be honest, I think I'm gonna have to like sell this one and buy another one, which sucks because if you know, you know, like, this stuff is not cheap. Like, it is not cheap. If I have any advice for anybody that wants to do a pop-up and it's like has to do with food or cooking or anything in that nature, make sure you try your equipment beforehand, probably a couple of times beforehand, to see that it works, because you don't want to be in a situation like me where it's like it doesn't work. And just just save it. Just save the embarrassment because, and the heartbreak, because it's not worth it. But yeah, that was my experience at my very first pop-up. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I don't wanna be your side. Whether be your main thing, let's jump in a pool, let's ride.